they've got their teammate, their colleague, someone that they loved, basically not with them anymore, and it's incredibly sad. And obviously what we've just seen there from Mo Salah was really special.
As part of all that emotion, there is, of course, the joy of winning the football match, the joy of winning the game, right at the late stages with those 2 late goals from Chiesa and from Mohamed Salah. But early on in the match, it was Hugo Ekitike on his debut with the goal, with the assist. Only the second player to do that on their Liverpool debut, to get a goal and an assist after Darwin Núñez 3 years ago. How impressed were you with his performance?
I thought he looked really good. I think we can talk about the goal, which is obviously a great moment, where he just gets that little bit of a ricochet. At half-time, it reminded me of Luis Suarez, the way in which you get that little bit of a break that you deserve when you're positive and you run at people. I thought he was really good on the second goal, where he holds it up and just pops it off. So he's demonstrated that he can drop in, he can score goals, he can run past people, he can bring teammates into play. You know, he looks a real talent, and obviously we think that Isak's going to come to Liverpool in this next couple of weeks, but he's going to have real competition there.
Well, the Premier League weekend is up and running with an absolute belter. Loves scoring on the opening weekend of the season. He got Liverpool's 4th in that 4-2 victory over Bournemouth. 19 shots for Liverpool, 10 of them on target. They've only had more shots on target in one game at Anfield. That was also against Bournemouth, and it was last season. XG of just over 2, more touches in the opponent's box than Bournemouth, but not by too much. More passes in the final third, and just short of 2/3 of the possession. Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher are here. Let's take a look at the third goal, because at that stage it felt like
I could do better. But yeah, the most important tonight, I think, is the win and the mentality we showed. Obviously, we wanted to win for the people who came tonight and for Hugo. And I think that's what we did. So I'm happy for everybody.
And you talk about the mentality, but also about wanting to improve on your own performances. It's only your first game in the league, but what are you thinking? In terms of what are you working on?
You know, I have so much things to do better, but I think I help the team as I can. You know, I can do a lot of things, and I think I will get better and do even more for this team. So yeah.
It's been a good start, so the fans will be looking forward to seeing something that's even better than that.
You say you should be doing better, but don't be too hard on yourself. You were pretty good tonight. Who's the player that you modelled yourself on growing up? Watching you tonight, you drop in, you obviously run in behind, you do lots of things really well. Who's your hero? Who's the player you like to look at?
Growing up, 2 players. Obviously, I can't play like him because it's the Neymar and Karim Benzema. I really love Karim Benzema because of the way he's play, and what he did for football is like just my role model as footballer, I think, yeah.
What has the manager asked of you since you've come here that's maybe a little bit different than, you know, your time at Eintracht Frankfurt or teams before that? Because he seems to like his strikers dropping a little bit deeper. But is that natural to your game as well?
Yeah, I think it's natural. I also changed my way to play here because I think it's also a different football where more intensity, the defenders are more strong, and yeah, we have like a tight space here. I would say like I had so much more space in Germany. That's why I try to come, link and go, run behind. But you know, we have to find the way to succeed with the details, because it's not good, I think, anymore, and we just have to get better.
If you want to get stronger to deal with the Premier League, when you're at Liverpool, you need to eat scouse. Some scouse?
I know I'm scouser, yeah.
But there's also a stew called scouse as well, so that's what Jamie's trying to get you to eat. I don't think it's on the footballer's diet.
No,
I'm not really sure. I'm not sure. Now, have you seen your goal yet? Would you like to?
Yeah, why not?
We can show you the...
Welcome back, Premier League Live on the road. Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2. This is the moment Jermaine, myself and Michael feel really small, because here is Hugo Ekitike, the debut goal scorer for Liverpool in that first half.
Should have put him down here next to me.
I know, well, I left you out. Hugo, congratulations. How did that feel all around the Anfield experience, your goal and the way you won it there tonight?
I mean, it's amazing to play here. As you can see, when we won at the end, the crowd was just unbelievable. So yeah, it's just a great feeling. I enjoy every minute playing on that pitch, and it's just the start. So I just stay focused, and I want to do more for the team.
And what a start to get the first goal on your debut in the first half. How did that feel?
I mean, we start to create good connection with the guys at the training. I understand them more. So yeah, we create good connection, and I think that's why now I'm able to make more difference. And I think in the future I will make more. I hope so.
Hugo, many congratulations on your goal. You must have watched the Premier League from afar, and you see maybe a quicker pace, the atmosphere. Was tonight everything that you expected? Is it much different to what you've been used to?
Yeah, obviously it was different because of what happened with Jota. Obviously, like the tribute tonight was amazing, and you could feel that. And yeah, like I just had goosebumps at that time, and it's just like amazing. I can't really explain my feeling right now because I just want to keep going. It's football, it's moments, so I want to do more, and yeah, that's it.
Hugo, I don't know whether you can hear me. You scored last week and you've scored again today. How is your adaptation within the squad?
I mean, the boys adapt me well. They help me so much, particularly Ibu, but also the other guys. They're very open, easy to talk. They help me a lot, and yeah, I'm grateful for that because like I already feel like at home, like I was in Frankfurt, and yeah, it just makes me better as a person and as footballer, I think.
Hugo, obviously you scored in your last 2 games. Do you set yourself any targets? Because you scored on the opening day of the season.
Sorry?
Do you set yourself any targets for this season with goals?
I mean, I'm a striker. The most important for me is to make the difference for the team to win. If I score, I'm happy. If I give assists like Cody, I would be happy. But yeah, obviously, when you're a striker, you want to score. It's the best feeling, and yeah, I want to keep doing it.
And what's it like to play in a team that creates so many chances? Players like Wirtz and Salah and Gakpo.
It's just fun. I have fun, I have so much fun with them. And as you can see tonight, like not everything worked well. We have some detail to work, and yeah, it will get better, I'm sure.
Watching your game as well, it looks like you're a centre-forward that you can run in behind, but you're also very, very good at coming short and linking the play. Almost like an all-round centre-forward. Not many people can do that now.
Yeah, but if I have to be honest with you, I'm not really that happy with my game. I think I lost too many balls, but I try to get better. If I can do everything on the pitch to help the team, I will improve in all the stuff I can improve, and yeah, most important is the win as we did tonight. So yeah.
And do you feel you can get fitter because, of course, you haven't been here that long? Do you feel as if your fitness levels will improve? Yeah,
of course. The intensity is different. People don't lie about Premier League. It's something else. I had cramp at 60 minutes. But yeah, I will get better. I'm someone who can adapt quick. I already adapt quick to the team, and I work every day in the training ground to get better. And I think already the next game I will be better. Yeah, for sure.
And what's it like coming into a group that have just won the league, a group of winners that have got that momentum from last season as well?
You need to adapt to them, obviously. They already made the road last season, and I just want to follow them because I think we can reach that. We have the quality for that, but we have to be all in the same page, and we just have to adapt to them and just see what they do and be on the same page to reach our goals.
Well, it's a brilliant start, a brilliant debut. We appreciate you talking to us. Thank you very much indeed, Hugo. Well done. Hugo Ekitike live for you here on Premier League Live. I mean, he's got a great future ahead of him.
And do you know what? I'm not being biased about centre forwards.
Yes, you are.
But I am. You'll stick up with me. But to be a centre forward, to make this feel your home straight away, to get on the score sheet, to feel important, to feel that you've got the respect of the players, the fans, the manager already. That goal will mean so much to him. He'll just feel part of things straight, and he can hit the ground running now.
It just seems like he just wants to improve every day. We spoke there about not being happy with the game, and we thought that he played well. Mo, you said it before about, even receiving the ball to feet, and that's a difficult thing to do. He runs in behind it, he walks into little pockets, so clever for a young player, and he takes his goal well. I spoke about before, taking on his back foot, so comfortable technically. But I mean, if he carries on like that, he'll score loads of goals this season.
I mean, it's lovely, isn't it? He's the new big money signing, the new number 9 for the best team in the country by a mile. He scores 2 in 2 important games straight away. And he's still only talking about his fitness levels can improve another third. After 60 minutes, he's got cramp. He says all the right things about adaptation to his team, about learning the language, about doing this, about doing that. He's got a really, really bright future. I mean, it's incredibly bright already. But you can see he's got a long way to go, hasn't he? And he wants to keep on improving. And he's going to get chances galore in this side, the way Liverpool are playing.
Yeah, so he got his debut goal. Gakpo then made it 2. And at that point, Liverpool looked like they were cruising. But what about Bournemouth and Antoine Semenyo tonight in particular, Jermaine, on the back of his new long-term contract?
I thought he was the best player on the pitch. Just everything he did, really, his work rate. I mean, it's so dynamic. We spoke about Bournemouth being good on transitions. I think they've showed that even last season. But he just gets into the area here. It's a good finish. He's so good with both feet. But, here it's just a case of just making the box, getting into those sort of like prime goal-scoring areas, and it's a good finish. Just got to hit the target there. But everything he did tonight was brilliant. He was a threat, strong, and he looked like he was the one that was going to make the difference.
Maka, how difficult, I know this starts in the Bournemouth half, is it to carry the ball for this length of the field like Semenyo did here?
To be honest, you're asking the wrong person.
I know, it's easy.
I thought it's very easy. No, I really do think it's very easy. The easiest thing is that no red shirt's going anywhere near him, Steve. He's run 50 yards. With all respect, it's a lovely goal and a great finish. He doesn't do anything. He just runs in a straight line, slows down, puts onto his left foot and smashes it home. So it's not necessarily hard. It looks harder than it was. The one thing I would say is that he signed a new long-term deal. Thankfully for Bournemouth, his transfer fee a lot more. He's very impressive. He's a great mover. He's got great shape on him, strong.
Yeah.
Someone's going to come for him. That's the only thing for Bournemouth fans. They probably don't want me to say that now after losing 3 of their centre-halves. And maybe Ouattara's going to go, but somebody's going to be after him next because his shape's good. He's built for the Premier League and he's dangerous. Looks dangerous whenever he sees the ball. And with all respect, in a better team, he'll look even better. He'd suit Liverpool.
Yeah,
he'd
Michael
suit
said that
Liverpool
on this
down
show
to
last
the
season
ground.
when the Salah was...
I know we're talking about Isak 150. Well, he could be half the price. And you'd pay it, no problem at all.
So difficult to play against.
So difficult.
With that power, it's so difficult to play against.
Maybe it's just me feeling tired. He ran 75 yards there.
Yeah, well, it's easy for Maka to do. I'd be knackered by the time I did about 40
I
yards.
so
it's not easy. You get tired. But he is so direct, so good. He's got such a good temperament as well. As the lad said, 2-footed. I mean, Liverpool needed to change their fullback. And that's a big money signing. Carragher, whether he was on the floor, whether he was in the air, he couldn't deal with him. Then he got a yellow card. And of course Robertson had to come on, but he had the legs to score. Then again late on, score again. I thought Bournemouth were brilliant tonight, and I didn't quite see. Sometimes you see wave of attack from Liverpool in the last 10 minutes. I wasn't quite thinking Liverpool are going to score here, but then the class told eventually.
So this is a story, because just behind us here, Cop End, Federico Chiesa had not been on the pitch 7 minutes. He's only played in the Premier League 7 times. What a moment. What a moment to score your first Premier League goal.
Yeah, and weirdly for an event entered his country many times, it was almost a fairy tale moment for him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't take part really last year, and then this one just falls to him. And it is a little bit of fortune how it falls to him, but what is unfortunate is his technique. To lean slightly to the left, slice it with his right foot past the goalkeeper. It was a wonderful finish. And I was absolutely thrilled to bits for him. I really, really was, because he's had it hard over a number of years. And coming to Liverpool, he hasn't played probably as much as he wanted to. He's got his opportunity today, and look at that finish.
That's brilliant. It's almost like he had to change his body shape a little bit, and just like improvise a little bit, and just, it's a fantastic finish. Obviously instinctive and that, but to come on and make an impact like he did, credit to him, because he didn't play that much last season, but that's all you can do.
Yeah. The way he fell away from the ball as well to give him almost room. You lose a little bit of power, then it doesn't matter, but just the ball's dropping. If it's too far in front of you, it's very hard to find a place to go. So falling away, giving your body room to swing your leg. What a lovely finish. But he's shown that on numerous occasions throughout his career, just not yet in a red shirt. But that could be a game changer for him.
Yeah. And you can't keep Mo Salah out of the headlines, as you say at the end, Maka. I mean, opening day, he always scores. For the 135th time here at Anfield. Wow. He made it 4.
Yeah, and he was the one who's anticipating this clearance, wasn't he, by Endo? Look, you see he's on his way, and then it's him against 4. How on earth he scores? What would the other defenders do? And I will never know. So why doesn't someone go and close the ball down? But they allow him to chop onto his right foot and place it past the keeper. Wonderful goal by Salah, as you said. Can't keep a good man down at all. And he steals the headlines at the end, doesn't he, by getting the 4th? But he should have been stopped defensively.
He just had to score, didn't he?
Had to score.
You know, chasing lost causes and even getting it there. He had so much to do still. Just get to these positions. I mean, we've seen him do it so many times. And
that's his hunger, Jermaine, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing with his weaker foot. He just scores goals. You know, opening days of the season, always scores goals, always produces.
It's funny, isn't it? We talk about Wirtz and we talk about Ekitike, and we've talked and the leading goal scorer we haven't mentioned at all, and then he goes and nicks the headlines right at the end.
And we know he loves records, and as I mentioned at the end there, 187, he's now bang level with Andy Cole, and he's got Wayne Rooney in his sights, hasn't he?
Well, exactly, and could he get to that by the end of this season? It's not impossible. I mean, he scored 30 goals in the past to get close there to Harry Kane. I mean, it might take him a little bit longer. He signed a new 2-year contract, hasn't he? So you'd think if he stays fit, he's certainly going to go into second. Can he beat Alan Shearer? He'd probably need to sign another contract, I would have thought.
I'm sure he'd be thinking about that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he loves a record, doesn't he?
Yeah, he loves a record. He's a goal scorer. He wants to score goals. He wants to break records. You know, he's all about numbers. But that's amazing. When you look at that list there, it's amazing.
And that's why he signs a 2-year deal. He signs it for this. He hasn't signed it for cash incentives. He wants to play at the highest level. He wants to score goals and he wants to chase down records. And he's certainly doing. If he stays fit, he'll catch Wayne and he'll catch Wayne, won't he? And he'll catch Harry Kane. No problem at all.
That's all positive. Let me bring you up today with one negative. We saw the game.
Well, they should have, as Jamie said, gone 1 or 2 up in the first half. They were creating big moments. It was always going to be tough for them, but it's a great performance from Bournemouth. It really was.
Well, Arne Slot has made his way to join us. Arne, thank you so much. Congratulations on the victory. We will talk about the football, but it's important that we get your thoughts on the report that Antoine Semenyo gave to the officials alleging racist abuse. What was said over on the benches? And I know you made a point of going over to speak to Semenyo at the end of the game.
Yeah. No, I think the club made a clear statement. We don't want this in football. We don't want this in a stadium to happen. But especially not at Anfield. So we should talk about that. We should talk about maybe that for a long time, because it's unacceptable that something happens like this in a stadium, let alone at Anfield. And that unfortunately gets the shine off. I don't know if that's really good English, but because our fans were unbelievable when you talk about the tribute for Hugo. So, but what happened over there is definitely, I didn't hear it. I only can say that this should definitely not happen in a stadium.
And the club, as you say, have put out a statement saying that they condemn abuse in any form. And I know that it's with the police, so there's a limit to what can now be said.
Yeah.
As you said, that we could have been talking about a fantastic game, and we will talk about what was a fantastic game. You take all 3 points from it. Were you happy with everything that you saw out there?
I think it was a great game to watch, and this is why this is what football makes so great. 3 parties involved that wanted to play a very nice game. Us, Bournemouth, and the referee. So high tempo, no time wasting, no diving, just keep on playing. This is what football makes so nice. 2-0 up, going 2-2, because they just kept on going after 2-0 down. It's a big compliment for them not to give up, but just keep on fighting. And then we did the same after we conceded the 2-2. And not only we, our fans were at that moment of time. And even before the game, during the You Never Walk Alone and the tribute for Hugo, the banner they had, it's altogether it should be about that. But the game of football was also impressive in my opinion.
Yeah, very impressive game of football. Were you always convinced that Liverpool were going to take 3 points from that game?
No, because we played them last season here when we were 3-0 up. They just kept on going. They were in every stat, running stat, very high last season, and you could see today again. We, by the way, as well, but you could see today again how fit this team we faced was and never gave up. because you can talk about rest defense, but I think the moment we lost the ball in both situations, rest defense was in order. But the pace they have, the tempo they sprinted all the way, it was a 4v2, I think, on this side. That's also credits to them. But like I said, they faced a team that's really fit as well and never gives up. We've lost many players during the summer, but we didn't lose our mentality.
I'm really interested in that point, because I've heard you make it in almost every interview that you've given, because you're asked so often about the players who've come in, but you're always at pains to emphasise the players who've gone over the summer.
Not always, because it's only the second day I have an interview, I think.
Yeah, I've seen a couple.
But yeah, everybody is asking me the same question. Yeah, you have a lot of new players. Yeah, reality is we've lost a lot of players as well. I think we even lost more than we got. But it's normal if you bring such a talented players in, and you've already won the league last season. That everybody's talking about that. But yeah, if you normally, when it was 2-2. I think these two know which player I was looking at that moment of time. I would have loved to bring Diogo Jota in, but now I couldn't for terrible reasons. But now the fans and the players that were still there did what he did so many times for us in the past.
And I can ask you just mentioned rest defence there, and it's been a problem in the pre-season, in the Community Shield and here today. I think what stood out for me watching your Liverpool team last season was how much control you had in games, and I very rarely saw end-to-end games. I feel like I'm seeing that today and in the Community Shield. Is that a worry for you? Because there's a lot of attacking talent on the pitch now that maybe wasn't there as much last season.
Not that we bring more bodies in front of the ball, maybe, but we do have players that are looking maybe for a final pass or a difficult solution in the end phase of an attack a little bit more, because they also have these passes than we had last season. And probably, I'm not talking about a player we lost, but I do talk about a player that was not available last week and not this week, and that's Ryan Gravenberch, who was last season very, very important in these moments as well. So with McAllister only being back 2 or 3 weeks in pre-season, Maka will be fitter again, and we need to find a better balance in taking the risk, because against Palace we've lost 2 or 3 simple balls that led to counter-attacks. Where here we lost in the 2-1, we lost the ball with a trick as well, where Dominic wanted to do a trick.
Could you believe what you were seeing? I mean, I was up on commentary, maybe even got a better view than yourself. I think there was 7 or 8 players in the box. Yep. When the score was a 2-1. Are you sort of encouraging that, or would you be furious with that?
No, depends on where the players of the opposition are. If they are standing over here at the halfway line, it would be stupid for us to be there with 7. But if they go with all players back in their own 18-yard box, we need to have a rest defence in order to be close.
Say that worries me a little bit.
What?
When you say that's the team that we are, with so many bodies going forward. Am I allowed to say that? Sorry, boss.
No, you're allowed to say this. But then you need to support a team that's going to play with 11 players in their own box. I prefer to see this. But I prefer even more to see not being counter-attacked. That I agree on. But I like it that our players like to play football. And I think last season we were a joy to watch. Like, for example, Paris Saint-Germain, who do similar things like this.
Arne, to be honest with you, I think it's a breath of fresh air in the sense of how I see the game should be played. It's how we used to play. I quite often last year said that football was becoming quite formulaic, where players weren't free. It felt like they were being sort of like coached like robots to say, you must pass it here, you must pass it there. So when I see that tonight, I feel like that's really exciting. Obviously, sometimes you will concede goals doing that. Is this how you're going to play for the rest of the season? Because I think that it's going to be thrilling to watch Liverpool if it is.
Yeah, we will try. Although we want to do better in the transition moments, of course. But it's also then, if Mo would have had a shot on goal that went over or a corner kick, is not a problem. So where do you lose a ball is crucial as well. The moment how Dominic Szoboszlai lost the ball with a trick, that is not smart in that moment of time. But we will fine-tune even more these counter-attacks, hopefully. But we will work on that definitely. But we do want to stay the team that is a joy to watch offensively. And we're not a team, if we're 2-0 up, we're going to go with 10 men in our own box. That's not who we are.
You substituted both your fullbacks, Chiesa and Frimpong. What was you just thinking behind that at that moment in the game?
I'm looking for the English word, but that wasn't out of luxury. That was because Jeremy Frimpong felt his hamstring at half-time and made a lot of sprints.
He was doing quite well, wasn't he?
He was doing quite well, but the other fullback, Conor Bradley, is already injured with a hamstring injury, so you don't want to take the risk of another fullback, lose another fullback. Then you could argue, why don't you play Joe Gomez there? But I just said he only had 2 sessions in pre-season, so he wasn't able to play half an hour, so we started with Wata, and our left fullback, Milos Kerkez, is a player that I think the fans like, because in every duel he goes all in. But when you have a yellow card already and you play Semenyo, that's kind of a risk. Yeah. And if you have Robertson as a backup, then that was the reason for those two. When Hugo Ekitike came later in pre-season, has to adapt from, I think I can say that Liverpool is a better club than Frankfurt. And the league is probably more intense as well. So for him to be able to play 70 is already a big bonus after being 2-3 weeks here. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment, because we lost some players.
You need more players, Arne.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
So does that mean there's more to come in the transfer window?
I'm not saying we need more. I'm only saying that everybody's only talking they added. No, we didn't add. Till now, we only replaced. And you never know what's going to happen in the window. We do already signed one with Leone.
Yes.
So that's a good thing.
Arne, I will say, when we came here this evening, I didn't think you'd get support from this corner and criticism from that corner.
It's not
but
criticism,
that's the way.
it's constructive.
Kelly, he played under Rafa Benitez. He had 4 defensive field players that never moved. He had 8 behind the ball every week.
And won the most famous Champions League final of all time.
Listen,
and I spoke to Benitez, and he said that's only.
Thank you. And it is job done as far as getting the result is concerned. Whether you two have concerns about Jamie, how the setup is and how that might look as the season goes on, or Gary, whether it's the kind of football that you played and that you enjoy watching, it is a style of football that clearly Arne Slot is going to be playing with Liverpool.
I get Carragher's point, because they're going to go to Newcastle, they're going to go and play Arsenal here in a few weeks, and you can't obviously be that open at times. But because Liverpool have got such a punch, if you just throw punches and go punch for punch with a lot of teams, you'll win most of your matches. And go and risking to win games. I mean, they had 7 or 8 players in the box at 2-1. If that's 3-1, you say that's brilliant. That's what we want to see. And I was so critical at times last season of seeing teams recycle the ball, where they were basically sort of didn't know how to go forward. So when I watch a team like that runs forward, that passes forward, that commits players, that's got 2 full-backs forward, that leaves 2-on-2 at the back, that to me is a thrill. That's what the Premier League is. Now, I know that ultimately when we're talking about tactical football later on in the season, we would be critical if Liverpool lost the league playing like that. But I think at this point in the season, I think you're okay to be able to do that. And I think they obviously have to sort it out in bigger games. They've obviously got players to come back. So I don't want to be too critical of it, because I think it does. I reminisce and think that that's how we would play. We would commit, we would risk, we would try and thrill at all times in the games and score more goals. And at 2-1, you don't sit back. And that's what I think Liverpool have done to that. But I can see why you're slightly worried. But let's see how they do against Newcastle and Arsenal. That would be a bigger test, I think.
Which are coming up very shortly for Liverpool. And of course, we'll be bringing you that game between Newcastle and Liverpool. Might well be an interesting one, given the transfer speculation. He talked about Giovanni Leone, who has come into the club. He's a young defender, young Italian defender, and is one for the future. But Arne Slot talking about him as very much part of that Liverpool squad.
How far away is he?
Who will be Liverpool's
about 4'3"
main rivals? We'll discuss that next.
Enjoy every minute here. Sorry.
It's all right.
and that's amazing stadium. You know, the fans at the end, when we was at 2-2, they push so much even on the bench. I wanted to be in the crowd. So it's just amazing. But as I say, this is the first game. We have so much to do to get better and to reach our goals.
Well, the crowd certainly have taken to you. I know you wanted to be in there, but I think they would have been delighted for you to be there as well. You are the Premier League player of the match. I've got the...
Wow.
I don't know, you won't have seen these before, but they're really impressive.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
I don't know where you want to put it, but there is your Premier League player of the match award. Yeah, not bad for a Premier League debut.
No, it's can do better, I think, but it's great. I want more.
Hugo, thank you so much. Really good of you to come out and talk to us. I can take that for you. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well done.
It's really interesting to hear from him on his all-round performance, and he was harsh on himself, talking about improving, but he's been an instant hit, and those 2 goals that were he did that as his celebration. Those 2 goals in the Community Shield, and then again here in his debut at Anfield, endear him to the crowd, aren't they? If you're going to come in as a striker, that'll do it.
Yeah, it will endear him to the crowd, but also to his teammates as well, and also give that lad confidence. I mean, the first time I've ever been in his company, but he feels you can see he's a young lad. He's just the way he's at Anfield, one of the biggest clubs in the world, and I've actually felt a little bit sorry for him with all the talk around Isak, and that's why I've been a little bit sort of not outspoken, but it's easy to just say, "Oh, go and get Isak." What does it mean for him? And you don't want to ask him the question and put him on the spot, but I mean, there's talk about him playing on the left, but he looks like that's his position. He's a centre forward. He likes to drop deep, he likes to get on the ball. He's probably not going to be a centre forward who's going to be backing into defenders and sort of going up against them. He's got a slight frame, so we need to sort of get away from him and take them into wide areas. So for me, he's made a brilliant start. He's not as good as Isak, of course. He's not. He's 4 or 5 years younger than him. But I'm sure Liverpool, when they bought him, are thinking this fella could grow into one of the top strikers in world football. So yeah, I mean, I think it's just really interesting now what Liverpool do in terms of the attacking players that they bring in, because they have to bring attacking players in. But that will do him the world of good, and also give players the confidence, and maybe even supporters the confidence that it's not all about Isak, and if you don't get him, it's the end of the world. You might have someone pretty special up front already.
I know you said they need to bring attacking players in, but you've been saying for a while they need to bring more defenders in at Liverpool, and certainly Liverpool's defence could be questioned for the 2 goals that brought Bournemouth back into it. But I want to focus, before we do that, on Antoine Semenyo and how good he was for both of these goals, Gary.
He was outstanding, and it was down this side of Liverpool, this left. I think it's a brilliant ball into the box. Semenyo was fantastic in terms of that opposite wide player. You just see him there in the top of the picture. Konate's out of position. He gets caught in that channel. Van Dijk's just a little bit deeper, which isn't usually. He usually plays a really high line. He could have stepped up a yard or 2 more. But Semenyo's pace to get into that back post as the opposite wide player is outstanding, and he was fantastic in this game tonight. What a real threat. And Bournemouth deserved it. They did a lot of very good things. I thought when the substitution was made and Endo went to right back, Liverpool really struggled for about 15-20 minutes, and that's when most of the defensive problems came. This is obviously just a big counter-attack.
I mean, that's unbelievable looking at that. I mean, Arne Slot made those changes initially to make sure things like this don't happen. Well, fantastic from Semenyo, but Liverpool have had this problem. You continue. I mean, look how many players there for Liverpool. Maybe 8 players ahead of the ball when you're winning 2-1. I mean, it's that can't happen. It's absolutely shocking at this level. And Semenyo, I mean, to run that far and then get your shot away is brilliant. But where Konate's going, I mean, he had a really, really poor night tonight, the Liverpool centre-back. But and Liverpool supporters in the stadium will be delighted tonight, singing the Chiesa song. Salah gets the last-minute goal. That is not right. It's not. It's only 1 game into the season, the Community Shield. I'm telling you, I've watched enough football in my life. This idea that everyone bombs forward, you got all, but it was how easy it was for Crystal Palace to get at Liverpool. How easy it was tonight. In the first half, Bournemouth should have probably been 2-0 up at one stage, and there's definitely a problem that Arne Slot has to solve, and it's not just about people say, oh, they need a centre-back. A centre-back doesn't fix that. He just takes Konate's place. He doesn't fix that. It's about the makeup of the team. 2 attacking fullbacks. So number 10 now is more interested in getting on the ball than maybe defending like Szoboszlai was last season. So I think if Liverpool continue like that, and that's sort of the Liverpool this season, I don't think Liverpool to win the league.
We may well come back to talk about Liverpool's defence, but important to put Antoine Semenyo's performance, particularly in the second half, in context, because in the first half of the game it was paused for a couple of minutes because Antoine Semenyo...
Drama, emotion and late goals at Anfield. Liverpool's Premier League title defence got off to a rollercoaster start against Bournemouth. It was an emotional night as tributes were paid to Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva, who tragically passed away in July. A minute's silence before kick-off and applause in the 20th minute, Jota's number, set the tone. On the pitch, Liverpool's new signings took centre stage. Hugo Ekitike, a £70 million summer arrival, opened the scoring just before half-time with a composed finish. 4 minutes after the break, he turned provider, setting up Cody Gakpo to make it 2-0. But Bournemouth weren't done. The game was paused in the first half after Antoine Semenyo reported racial abuse from the crowd, and he responded in the best way possible, scoring twice in the second half to shock Anfield and make it 2-2. With the clock running down, Liverpool looked rattled, until Federico Chiesa, yet to make his mark at Anfield, delivered a massive moment with his first Premier League goal in the 88th minute. Mohamed Salah then sealed it late, wrapping up a 4-2 win for the champions. Arne Slot's side showed flashes of brilliance but also plenty of vulnerability. With 4 debutants, Frimpong, Carragher, Wirtz, and Ekitike, there was bound to be instability. The absence of Ryan Gravenberch in midfield was felt, and Bournemouth exploited the spaces down the flanks. Still, champions find a way, and Liverpool's late surge proved enough to start the season with 3 points. Ekitike's electric debut, Chiesa's breakthrough, and Salah doing Salah things. But does this performance raise concerns for Liverpool's title defence? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Premier League analysis here on Sport Lab.